critics, as of late, chastised my campaign. They said I've gone negative on my Republican opponent, and that this run is about me and my ego. They say that if I really cared about Massachusetts, I would step down and proudly stand by and support my Republican opponent. I say to those critics, tell me one thing that my Republican opponent has done without the help of taxpayer funds. Tell me one thing that he's done to stand up for the taxpayers and ratepayers in our once great state. Tell me one reform he's put forth that won't benefit big government or big business. Tell me one thing he stands for, period. In my dealings with him, he keeps telling me I'm studying the issue. Well, I'm here today to tell you that I've done my homework, and I'm ready for the people of Massachusetts to grade me to be their next governor. Thank you. Let me start with a big dig. About a week ago, a well-researched and documented column ran in the Standard Times by an intrepid reporter. Yeah, that's right, an intrepid reporter called Jack Spillane. And let me tell you something. I've been at this thing for a long time, and I've never seen a reporter do his homework, name names, name dates, and name what happened on the big dig. And I called Jack to see if he was going to be in the area today, and I don't know if he's here, but I respect what he did, and you should too, because it's so important to have the media tell the truth. And that's what the media, that's what their job is, to tell the truth. But Jack Spillane put forth a great piece in the New Bedford Standard Times, outlining my opponent's involvement in the big dig. According to the facts, Administration Finance Secretary and author of the Big Dig Highway Finance Plan, Charlie Baker, knew as early as December 1st, 1994, let me repeat that. December 1st, 1994, that the big dig would cost far more than anybody has ever disclosed to that date. Everybody thought it was going to be $10 billion or so. At that date, they learned it was going to be $13.9 billion, and it was going to take 4 more years to complete. 4 more years. Despite these crucial facts, which were not disclosed until 5 years later, the state still decided to go forward with this project and pay Bechtel, the biggest contractor doing the project, an added contract, a no-bid contract for $3 million a week for 4 additional years. $600 million on a no-bid contract for 4 more years. Now, as a former Turnpike Board member who was hung out to dry by a corrupt administration and a corrupt process, you know, and who was there trying to fight for cost control and for an openness and full disclosure about what was happening with your money, you can imagine that reading Jack Spillane's column that I'm pretty upset about what's going on and what happened back then. I could do nothing to save the state money nor to reform the project because the deal was made in 1994 to let this project go to $13.9 billion and give Bechtel, the biggest contractor on that thing, another $600 million kiss. Right? Bechtel, in the end, made more money than the project was represented to you and to the federal government. The project was represented as $2.3 billion for the whole damn thing. They made more money than that on this project. So, why are these facts important now? Well, to paraphrase a great conservative, the only thing that is necessary for big government and big business to profit on the backs of our state taxpayers and toll payers is for good men to do nothing. Why did Baker do nothing when he was told firsthand that the increased costs and schedule of the big dig would nearly bankrupt us? Why did Baker do nothing when he heard of the plans to violate state law and award Bechtel an illegal no-bid contract? Why did my Republican opponent do nothing as the state he wants to run was vilified and laughed at and made fun across this country, and then had the federal government cap its federal participation on what they'd pay? Here in Fall River, you see the remnants of that action. The Braga Bridge, the Brightman Street Bridge, the tunnel underneath City Hall, the roads coming off of 195 and 24 and all, over by Battleship, Massachusetts. That should be a wonderful, and is a wonderful tourist thing. I make a pilgrimage every year with my son, the whole day down here to go through Battleship Park and all. Your roads are disgraceful. You know, that wonderful rail spur that we wanted to bring down to New Bedford and Fall River, which everybody is running away from right now. I was with you in 2006. I'm with you today, and when I get to be governor, that will happen. That rail line will happen. Regrettably, my Republican opponent's habit for costing taxpayers money didn't end here. No, sir. Instead for his excellent work in state government, he was promoted to Chief Executive Officer of Harvard Pilgrim Health Plan, where he accepted more state money, your money, in the form of the biggest bailout in the history of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. I hate bailouts. I hate to pay for someone's mismanagement and duplicity. Moreover, under his management, insurance premiums rose double digits for 10 straight years. Let me repeat that. Double-digit increases in healthcare premiums for 10 straight years. While people around the state are really trying to make ends meet with housing, your rental payments, your mortgage payments, your healthcare payments, nonprofit CEOs like my Republican opponent are raking in over $2 million a year in pay and benefits. Last year alone, a salary increase of 20. We the people should start asking my Republican opponent when he's actually stood for something when he couldn't gain financially or politically. When is it that you've gone up against big business, big government, big labor, and big media, and done it for the people of the Commonwealth? You know me. You saw me in action. I didn't have a dog in that big dig fiasco or any tolls up and down the Mass Pike. I didn't live there. I lived on the South Shore. We didn't have any tolls, but we fought the good battle because it was unjust. Those people from 128 all the way out to the New York border had paid for that road at least twice. At least twice. And this nuanced thing that the governor wants now about putting a new wand system about putting over roads and everything, you'll have tolls down here in a nanosecond if they get their chance. So, my friends, if you want the status quo, if you like what's happening to Fall River and all the cities and towns on your borders here, vote for one of the other three. They'll give you the status quo. There is no difference.